welcome to day 12 of the 30-day yoga challenge. You should be congratulating yourself by now. As I said at the start of the challenge, the hardest part is just showing up. And so notice if your effort has been exhausted, and I invite you to take your effort down a little bit and still interact with engaging the body, but just taking the effort level down a notch, and see if you can't enjoy some of the practice by being softer. We'll begin today just with a few deep breaths. And we'll move into a breathing technique known as Kapalabhati, the fire breath. And so this is going to charge up some energy within the body, and also it's going to hold, it's going to teach us how to create some engagement in the abdominal area with the breathing. So let me give you an example of the kind of movement we're looking at. If you can see my belly, my abdomen has the ability to come out or pull in. And this is really the mechanism of the diaphragm lifting up or relaxing down. And so we're going to time the breath. We're actually just going to focus on the exhale, and we're going to repeat this motion. I'm exhaling as I'm drawing the belly in, and really just focusing on that action with a relaxing in between momentarily. So we'll try and engage with this, and we'll do 3 rounds. And so taking a deep inhale through the nose, let out a deep exhale through the nose, and inhale halfway only into the belly, and begin. Exhale out, and inhale all the way in. Pause at the top of your breath, bow your chin, hold the breath, lift the chin, and exhale slowly. Taking another full inhale and exhale. Exhale all the way out, and inhale halfway into the belly, and begin again. Exhale out fully. Inhale in completely. Lift your lungs up. Pause. Bow the chin. Lift the chin and exhale slowly. Again, full inhale and full exhale. Exhale all the way out. Inhale halfway into the belly, and begin. exhale, inhale fully. Hold, chin down. Lift the chin, exhale slowly. And close the eyes and just observe relaxed breathing. Bring the hands together in front of the heart center and just take a moment to meet yourself in this present moment. And let's continue to be present with ourselves as we move through the practice. Inhale to Om, either out loud or to yourself. And exhale, release the arms. We'll start today by laying onto the backs. And I'm going to walk my feet towards my hips. We're going to lay on our backs and we're going to walk the feet towards the hips. And arms can just be beside you, palms down or up. And I'm just going to focus just on my pelvic tilt. So inhale, bring your hips back. Exhale, press your low back into the floor until your tailbone curls up. Inhale, draw both hips back. And exhale, rounding the low back, tilting the pelvis upwards. Really letting the rest of the body relax. The feet are an important part of controlling the pelvis. Timing the movement with your breath, inhaling as you draw the hips back, exhaling as you curl the hips forward. I want to create maximum mobility. And I want to take my breath to maximum movement. And bring your pelvis back to neutral. Let's bring the let's bring the arms above the head. And if that's quite tight for you, then you can bend the elbows. So straight arms or bent elbows. And let's bring the knees in towards the belly. So you're going to inhale here. And then you're going to exhale, rounding the low back, pressing the hands into the floor. Inhale, let the back come flat onto the pelvis. And then exhale, rounding the low back, bringing the tailbone up. Move with your breath. Inhale, releasing the spine onto the floor. And work from your spine. Exhale, press the front of your rib cage in towards the floor. Inhale, lengthening the spine. And exhale, slowly engaging with a curl. anything, the head is pushing back into the ground. Try not to work from the legs. Try to work really from the spine, the abdomen, the low rib cage. And really get that exhale to deeply push out. If your arms are straight or bent, your fingers are spreading wide, pressing the fingernails into the ground. And then from here, knees staying in the center, arms can come out beside us, and keep your arms and shoulders on the ground. Inhale here, and exhale. Only go as far as you can with control in your arms. Inhale to center, and we're only going to exhale as far as we can, or move as far as we can exhale. Inhale to center, and exhale to the side. One more on each side. And exhale, feet back onto the ground. So we'll come up to a seated position. You can rock forward up to a seated position. And we're going to come forward to sit on the heels. The tips of the toes onto the floor. And we'll sit back towards the heels. And of course, if this is too intense, the hands can come on the floor. But if you can reach back and grab your feet, then you're going to arrange the heels to be straight up and down. And we'll breathe here. Releasing the toes to releasing pressure on the top of the head. Use your breath to feel more free inside the structure. And exhale, bring your hands to the ground. And we're going to come back to sit towards the heels. And the heels are high up. There can be steadiness in the ankles if you're hugging the shins towards each other, or hugging the ankles towards each other. And then stand up, lifting the heels up. Stand up as tall as you can. Engaging with your breath as a movement that helps the structure grow. And exhale, release the heels down and release the arms down. Let's take our feet together. We'll clasp the hands together and push up through the hands, sending the hips to the left, pushing the hands up and to the right, turning to clearly be able to see upwards in front of the arm. Engage towards more length. Arms are coming towards each other, legs are coming towards each other for more length. Inhale to center and exhale, hips to the right. Hands and feet are producing press. So you're pressing into the feet, you're pressing into the hands. Inhale back to center and exhale, release the arms. So we'll move through vinyasa and come to downward dog. Inhale, reach up. Exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. In downward dog, you really want to get the chest to keep dropping until you feel that it's a very strong line from hands to hips. It's a very straight line, and you can feel the power coming from the center of the hands all the way up, lengthening through the lift in the hips. And let's come down to the hands and the knees. And I just want to bring your attention one more time to wrists. So if you have wrists that are having trouble with head postures where your hands are on the ground, then you want to roll up a towel, something where your palms can sit higher than the knuckles of the hands. And I'm wanting the knuckles to really press into the ground. And I'm wanting the palms to really press into the ground. But the more slope I have, the easier it's going to be for my wrists, and I'm going to get stronger. So we're spreading the fingers here, and throughout this, if you need to pad, do so, okay? And you're really trying to push the knuckles of the fingers towards the ground. And if you're okay with no padding, that's fine too. Let's take an inhale, take the right heel back. And exhale, curl the right knee straight through the center. And at the end of your exhale, really rise up through the middle of your back. Inhale, stretch it out. Exhale, curl. Inhale, stretch it out. And exhale, curl. 2 more. And come back to center, left side. Right through the center, press into both hands. Now you can sit back in child's pose, or you can join me for a deeper variation from downward dog, okay? And you can also join in with this first variation. We're going to do 5 on each side, but I'm going to show you a different variation from downward dog, and we're going to end up stepping forward with the foot. So do the variation that you feel is going to be most beneficial to you today. In downward dog, I want to start from a position where my chest is trying to get lower towards my feet. And I'm going to take my right leg straight back through the heel. Inhale here. And exhale, come into high plank and lift my back a little higher. Inhale, stretch the leg out. Exhale, curl. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Curl and step the foot forward wherever you can with both hands pressing. Then take the foot all the way forward. So let's stand up into Warrior D, a high lunge. Options for hands on the waist. You can grab the wrist and spread the fingers nice and wide, or clasp your hands together. Exhale, release your hands to the ground. We'll inhale, high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. And downward dog. So come down to the hands and knees if that's the variation you were doing. Or from downward dog, take the left leg up. Still wanting the chest to get a little deeper. Inhale here. Exhale, high plank. Curl the knee in and bring your back up. Inhale, stretch out. Exhale, strong. 3 more. And sometimes I lose count, so step forward with your left foot. And then move your foot to where it needs to be. And we're going to stand up into a high lunge. Bring your hands to clasp behind you, or your wrists, or hands on hips. Exhale, release the hands to the ground. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, chaturanga, cobra or up dog. And exhale, down dog. Pressing through every knuckle of the finger. Shifting your shoulders away from your neck. And we'll step forward with both feet. Inhale, lift your spine halfway. And exhale, fold. Standing up, inhale. And exhale. So let's take the feet, they can be a couple inches apart or right together. We'll take the hands behind the back, hands to the waist. Coming into chair pose. And as we sit into chair, we're going to take a twist. So either the arm is on both legs, both knees are the same, or on an exhale, you can get your elbow across. Then we're stacking the elbows, sitting, and pressing into the hands to shift the shoulders so that the chest is at the center of the hands. Exhale to center. Inhale, set up for the other side. And if you're coming across, come on and exhale. We want the knees doing the same thing. And we want to push into the hands and arrange our shoulders to be doing the same thing.
and hang into a forward fold and roll up the spine.
Good. So we'll use the wall for this. And this is a variation of dolphin. So dolphin is downward dog on your forearms. Okay. This is a way for you to not have to go down to the ground, to maybe figure out how to get it. Might be easier if we use the wall. So we're going to put ourselves in a position. Maybe the best way to measure is stand, stick your foot out, and we'll have a leg's distance to the wall. And remember, I showed you the elbows are no wider than being able to grab them. Don't bring the elbows out here. So measure them. And then the hands can come onto the wall. And of course the elbows will want to slide out due to our tension. So just keep them from sliding out by rolling the arm in and pushing. Okay, pushing away from the wall. I have to step back a bit. I can feel that my hips could go further back. And we won't drop the head down. In the beginning, we'll keep the head buoyant and really see if we could drop maybe the front of the ribs instead. And as you get deeper into the pose, your arms will want to slide out of position. So I'm suggesting a subtle hug of your elbows in, combined with your pushing into the wall to lengthen the hips back. Okay, the rotation of the arm is going to keep you in alignment. And this could be your dolphin. If we sit in dolphin for 5 breaths, this could be where you begin. And notice if you're pushing so much that the neck has tension, or if you could let your shoulders soften and push your hips back. That hugging in of your elbows is protecting the shoulders. And come back up and release the arms. Good. So we'll vinyasa and come down to downward dog. Inhale. Exhale. Let's come on to the hands and the knees. I'm just going to show you a couple variations for plank. We went over wrist stuff. Okay, the angle of your hand can be very useful. Also, using every finger as a stabilizer. And when we come into this next pose of plank, we could do it from knees on the ground. Although for me, I need padding under my knees. Okay? And my hands need to be right underneath my shoulders. Okay, so we could do plank here. But I'm dropping the hips and lengthening. Okay, side plank we could do on the knees. And all I'm doing is trying to bring my hips forward and control from that straight line in my arm and arrange myself to stack on top of that line.
come back down to center. We'll go to the other side. But you can't sink down into the arm. You have to push for length and then get the rest of the body to respond to that action. All the way up to those fingertips. And we'll come back down, and you can sit back to the heels for a moment, and I'll demonstrate the next. So do that. If that was really challenging, then you're gonna play with that, because this is just more weight. So this next variation we'll do, we'll go into side plank, side left hand, left heel, and we'll step the right foot behind us to give us a little bit more hips forward. Okay, so that foot could step as wide back as you want, but it's to drive the pelvis forward and up. So breathing here, and you need every finger, and you might need a little rotation in your arm to make way for opening across the chest. Breathing deeply here, either knee on the ground. We're coming to straight legs, balance on the left heel, and step behind and push the hips forward. Let the head come back a bit. You gotta use the fingers. Move towards length. Come back down. And if you're on knees, stay on knees. Don't hurt yourself. We'll turn the right hand, right heel. And the foot is behind me, supporting the hips, lifting further up and forward. If my arm rotates forward, I don't have much support, so the arm rotates out. I keep the fingers gripping. Keep the arm lengthening. And come back to center, downward facing dog. And bring the knees down to the ground. So we'll set up for dolphin. Again, the elbows no further than how far you can reach to grab them. And the hands can be set up together, pressing down. And look at the elbow. Without actually moving my elbow, the skin and bone will roll in or out. And so if it was up to me to choose, I want the pressure to roll in a bit more than I want it to roll out. So just keeping that in mind, rolling the pressure in and then putting the weight into the elbows. If you need to adjust your arms, that's okay, but keep them where they are as we move. So we'll take the knees up off the ground. I'll walk the feet forward a bit, but I'm gonna really try to get my chest back to that position that I had up against the wall. So don't worry about straight legs, but can you push into the ground and send your heart towards your feet? Soften into your shoulders, but push further. Get the pelvis to respond by arching the hips up, sinking weight down into the heels through the push of your arms. Make sure that you feel secure, hugging the arms in to manage the space around the shoulders. And exhale, knees coming down to the ground. And let's just come into a restful child's pose.
And then let's bring ourselves onto our backs. And so let's just reach the arms above the head. And the arms are straight, but I'm pulling the shoulders back and down away from my ears. So fingers are reaching, but pulling the engagement of the shoulders back. And I'm going to inhale on the floor, and I'm going to exhale, rounding my hips, and then begin to lift. And I'm going to breathe here. So the tailbone is lifting up. Let's come on, lift the heels up. And lift the tailbone up a bit more. And as you come down now, try to roll down one vertebra at a time. And again, inhale on the ground. Exhale, just tilt your pelvis, tilting the tailbone upwards. Inhale, lift the hips. And stay here, drawing your shoulders towards your feet, but pushing from your feet towards your shoulders. Bring your heels up and start to come down your spine, one vertebra at a time. Really trying to arrange pressure in each part of the spine. Tailbone coming down last. Last time, inhale, pelvis neutral. Exhale, curl the pelvis. Inhale, lift the pelvis. Push with that lift, push the pelvis towards the chest. Draw the shoulders back. Straighten the elbows. And slowly roll down. And we'll pull the knees into the belly. To eagle, laying on our backs. This can be helpful with your feet on the wall. We're going to cross the right knee over the left, and we're really going to try to cross the knees tight, so much so that I'm trying to draw the heels back towards each other side by side. And for some of you, you can wrap the foot behind. Not important how far you go, but direction of wrapping your legs is what we're going towards. So if you need to hold the knees in for a first bit, that's okay. And if you get tired, you can use the foot on the wall. Now we're going to cross our left arm over our right arm and try to tie the hands up, either hugging the shoulders, okay, or if you can, drag the left arm across and into the chest. Okay. Or if you can go into eagle arms, then you're wrapping the hands. Okay. That's quite intense. You don't have to get there.
So wherever you're at, we're going to bring the knees and elbows together, forehead towards the knees. Breathe. And exhale, release. And then we'll cross the left over the right. I might even walk my foot to the left and cross it tighter. Get an advantage with the wall. And we're changing patterns, so of course your body doesn't want to do it. Your body doesn't feel good about changing things, but you can have fun with it. Tension isn't forever, it doesn't have to be forever. We'll take the right arm over the left, pulling the arm across or hugging the arms a little deeper around the shoulders. You could cross the arms. If you're almost at crossing the arm, maybe just work on straightening the elbow while you pull the arm in. And exhale. Forehead to knees. Working from the middle section. And exhale, come back down and release. Okay, so we're going to lay onto the backs into Shavasana. Get comfortable, ready for Shavasana. We generated a lot of energy. We really cleaned out some patterns in the body. And now relax into a state of warmth. Let your body relax any hard edges. And we'll just scan from our toes, looking for places to soften more in our feet. Noticing the ankles and how relaxed the weight of the legs are. The knees softening. Notice the support of the earth, allowing for the pelvis to relax
if you choose, you can stay here for longer. We'll find some movement in the fingers and toes, make our way slowly onto our side. And then come back up to a seated position with the eyes closed. Tuning into the breath, noticing the quality of your connection to your body. Notice the ease of the breath. And let's raise our state of being to a quality of gratitude. Sipping in the breath with gratitude. And we'll bring the hands together. Namaste. Keep up the good work.